Welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm your host, Shafiu Suleiman. On today's show, we'll be exploring some of the most pressing issues in the world of politics, policy and governance. We start with the story that Mr. Doyin Okupe, the campaign director general of the Labour Party's presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, has resigned. In a letter to the LP presidential candidate on Tuesday, Okupe stated that he had decided to step aside rather than risk having his personal interests interfere with Obi's and the party's campaigns. This came after the accused LP presidential campaign director general was found guilty by the Federal High Court in Abuja of collecting more than 200 million naira in payment from the late National Security Advisor NSA Samba Dasuki. The court ruled as a result that counts 34, 35, 36 and 59 against the first defendant, Dr. Okupe, were true. Okupe had taken to Twitter shortly after his conviction to ascribe his legal woes to his enemies. Also, the Senate has approved Loretta Onoche's appointment as the substantive chairman of the Niger Delta Development Commission Board. 12 additional candidates were confirmed by the Senate on Tuesday during the plenary, with the exception of 2 who weren't present for the screening last Friday at the National Assembly compound. On Wednesday of last week, President Muhammadu Buhari had urged the Senate to approve the appointment of Loretta Onoche, a special assistant for new media, as the substantive chairperson of the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. In the letter, Buhari also listed 14 other people as managing director, executive directors, and board members. Take a look.
The Senate, however, stepped down the nominations of Dr. Pius Odubu, Edo State, and Engineer Anthony Okanem, Imo State, for not appearing before the Senate Committee on NDDC for screening. Explaining why the 2 nominees were not screened, Senator Amos said there was no information explaining their absence by the senior special assistant to the president on National Assembly matters, Babachide Omoworare.
The committee wishes to recommend for confirmation the nomination of the following as chairman and members of the governing board of Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Loretta Ifeanyi Onoche as chairman, governing board of NDDC. During the screening exercise, the committee observed that 2 of the presidential nominees were absent, and there was no information from the special assistant to Mr. President on National Assembly matters.
Before their confirmation, some senators objected to Onoche's confirmation, saying she is not from oil-producing community. However, Senator representing Rivers East, Senator George Sekibo, noted that the issue is not clearly defined in the act establishing the NDDC.
Submit that we should add a clause in our resolution calling on not only this president, but all future presidents who will have to implement the act to comply in their nominations with the requirements of indigenship. Because what the law says is that the nominees should come from oil-producing areas.
So whatever will form a bottleneck to the inauguration of the commission, I think we should leave it. Because the truth argument about host community and oil-producing community have not been properly defined. It has not. It's going to create more problem, even the PIA. That problem will be there.
While confirming the nominees, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, charged them to hit the ground running by embarking on projects that will ensure peace and stability in the Niger Delta region.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Loretta Ifeanyi Onoche from Delta State, representing South-South, as chairman in the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Loretta Ifeanyi Onoche from Delta State, representing South-South, is hereby confirmed as chairman in the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC.
The Senate President also requested that copies of the audit reports be made available to the National Assembly.
Godwin Emefiele, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has once more ignored a request from the House of Representatives for the clarification on the CBN's most recent policy regarding cash withdrawal limits. Emefiele was scheduled to appear before the House on Tuesday after he ignored legislators' prior summons. Recall that the House had previously called Emefiele to testify on Thursday, December 15, to defend the Apex Bank's most recent policy, which among other things limited cash withdrawals from over-the-counter and automated teller machines ATMs to 100,000 and 500,000 naira for private individuals and corporate entities respectively. Emefiele claimed he was out on official assignment but did not show up in front of the lawmakers.
Reacting further to the letter, the Speaker stated that if Emefiele is still not back from his travel, his deputy can represent him to explain the controversial cash withdrawal policy.
I would like to know what that official assignment at this critical point in Nigeria that will keep him away for 2 weeks. So in my humble opinion, I think because this House will also more than likely close on Thursday for the Christmas break, I think we should resolve to invite the CBN governor to brief this House on Thursday morning. And if for any reason it is verified that he is unavoidably out of the country on Thursday, that he asks his deputy governor or anyone who is well equipped to fully brief this House so that we do not carry this thing until next year.
Members frowned at Emefiele's non-appearance, noting that it is disrespectful to the Nigerian public and not only to the House.
The crafters of the Nigerian Constitution, Mr. Speaker, did not make error to create House of Representatives to call for public office holders to account for their activities on behalf of Nigerians. I think at this point in time it is quite important for us to let such public office holders know that it is not Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila that is summoning the CBN governor or Honorable Yusuf Gagdi or Deputy Speaker or any member. It is the collective wills of the Nigerian people that are inviting the CBN governor to come and explain.
Mr. Speaker, I want to concur with your submission, and on this particular matter, I want to appeal to members of the House. If you look at the context of the letter written out, as the Speaker has rightly said, the letter came out of here when the gentleman was out of the country. I would just want to appeal to the members of the House with the Speaker to go about giving a new date for the invitation to come back to the House to come explain to Nigerians what we are waiting to hear. So we don't just belabor ourselves with all that is on here.
The House had last week resolved in its plenary to invite the Apex Bank boss to shed more light on the cash withdrawal policy.
The summon by members of the House of Representatives is one among the several controversies which followed the new CBN withdrawal policy. On Monday, the Federal High Court had declined a request for an arrest warrant by the Department of State Services, DSS, seeking to arrest the CBN governor over alleged terrorism financing. We'll go on a quick break, and now when we return, we will begin the conversations with the 2023 presidential campaign as a central focus. Stay with us. Welcome back. We now have Barrister Bashir Maidugu, a senior special advisor to the governor of Borno State, also a member of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go straight to our conversation, but let's start with the tidbits. Perhaps let's get your reaction. The first, we're talking about the resignation of the the Director General of the LP Presidential Campaign Council, Dowin Okupe.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
it's proper for him to resign in the sense that, you see, conviction by a court of law for a criminal offense bordering on dishonesty under our constitution is a ground for disqualification for public office, any public office. The Director General of Labour Party is a public office. And therefore, the moment the conviction was pronounced, he became disqualified. So his resignation is in order. And then, you see, our laws are such that there are constitutional bars for holding public office. One of them is dishonest conviction for an offense bordering on dishonesty or, you know, any offense that is bordering on bankruptcy or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, be that as it may, let's look at your party, that is the APC. One of the tidbits there talks about, you know, the approval of the appointment of Loretta Onoche and her board members, a team of board members by the National Assembly. At last, you know, after several efforts to reward, so to speak, Loretta Onoche by the president. How do you see this development? Looking at the fact that it has been a lot of controversy have trailed it.
You see, Loretta Onoche is a very patriotic individual. She's a very patriotic Nigerian, and she is a highly principled, you know, lady. And her quest to serve Nigeria in any capacity is not hidden. I follow her on Twitter, and I know her convictions, I know her views, and I share most of them. The fact that she is nominated as chairman of NDDC is long overdue. In any other capacity that she actually is willing to have, I mean to serve, the president can appoint her, and she is qualified, you know, as a Nigerian, you know, to serve in that board. And the House has really rightfully confirmed the appointment to my delight. Yeah.
Okay. The simple reason why Nigerians, a number of Nigerians are interested in this development is the fact, you know, if you like, that the APC reward mechanism seems to be in doubt. Many say, you know, a number of party chieftains who have contributed to the emergence of this government have been left, you know, unattended and so on. But our case, you know, happens to be different. Why is it so?
See, it's not simply because you are an APC supporter or stakeholder that the government, whether at the state or the federal level, can simply give you appointment. There are other ways of rewarding loyalists of the party, not necessarily government appointment, because there are huge responsibilities attached to government appointment. And these responsibilities, some of them you have to swear to an oath before discharging them. So therefore, I find it very amusing that people are thinking that government appointment is for reward purposes. You only appoint people who are competent, capable, and willing to serve. You don't appoint people based on their political loyalty, even though they are incompetent. You understand what I mean? So that is why we have qualifications in our laws for appointment into certain positions. Yeah, so I am not really in support of those who are saying that the reward mechanism in the party is not this, because there are so many other ways of, you know, rewarding loyalists. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
This issue of Naira redesign, you know, has been generating a lot of controversy. And now we've seen how, you know, the CBN governor is having running battle with the courts, with the National Assembly, with the DSS, and so on and so forth. Let's start with the Naira redesign. People within your party have kept mute over time. You know, there seems they're not coming out, perhaps, to either show their support or reject the policy option. Why are you not comfortable coming out to speak in favor, perhaps, of this redesignation?
Well, the issue is this. The Central Bank of Nigeria is a body, autonomous, established by the CBN Act. And they have the sole mandate to regulate our monetary and fiscal policies, you know, and including currency. You understand what I mean? The fact that the Central Bank of Nigeria decided, with the approval of the president, to redesign the Naira shall not be an issue because it is within their mandate. And they have their reasons for doing so. And I support them. And the reason why I support them is that as we speak, you know, there are tons and tons of cash being kept by kidnappers, terrorists, and those who are trying to buy Nigerians to vote for a certain direction. I mean, in certain direction. When the 2023 election comes, there are tons of cash kept in different places around the country. These people, if they are left to do what they wanted to do, they will end up distorting our political system. And as we speak, the bandits and terrorists that keep those cash, you know, in their possession are right now running helter-skelter, buying assets or trying to go to the banks to ensure that they are not affected. And through that, they may be exposed, and the government will actually monitor them. It is a mechanism to actually recapture, you know, monitoring of our currency system by the CBN. So I don't see anything wrong with it.
But some would say, why now? Where is the government all this while? That these monies have been exchanging hands, that these monies are being stashed and what have you?
My brother, there is nothing wrong in taking a right decision late. I don't think so. If you take a right decision, it means all the wrongs that you have been doing is being corrected. Do you understand what I mean? There is nothing wrong for CBN to redesign the Naira, as they have rightly done so.
Including the cash withdrawal limitation.
The cash withdrawal limit is another ballgame altogether. They have their own strategy. And this is what the House now has invited the governor of the CBN to explain. And they didn't say that there should be no cash withdrawal limits. They want the governor of the CBN to appear before them and explain their decision, the rationale behind, you know, the limit. And in all honesty, I think it's a fair decision by the House, you know, to find out why they are doing this. They are just being reasonable. And the CBN has its own reasons for that. And some of which I think the CBN governor in a press conference has said that we will not allow vote buying in 2023 elections. And this is a fair decision. This is very nice for Nigeria's electoral system. You know, it's in tune with international practices.
Well, why is the CBN governor, you know, apparently some would say is playing hide and seek with the National Assembly, talking about, I mean,
I don't want
for 2 weeks.
I don't want to delve into that. I don't know his reasons, and he might have his reasons, and he has explained it in a letter to the National Assembly that he is outside the country on a crucial national assignment, and I will leave it at that.
Okay, so what do you make up with the DSS, you know, attempt, if you like, to get him arrested on this count charges, including terrorism financing?
Well, in all honesty, I do not know the details of such allegation, and I do not know the reason why anybody will have, you know, such reasons to, you know, to arrest a CBN governor for such offense. But the DSS has authority to investigate terrorism. So if they have any reason to declare this, the governor wanted, well, it's within their mandate.
Okay, let's go back to the APC. Let's start with your state, talking about Borno. there have been a lot of concerns, with regards to the people of Southern Borno, who are said to be, not happy with the performance, if you like, of your principal in that zone. That they've been neglected in terms of infrastructure and so on. And there is this concern that they may likely not, support him this time around. Are you comfortable with the...
I'm hearing this for the first time. I've never heard anyone speak, and I'm hearing this for the first time. And it's surprising to me because I'm from Borno. I know what is happening there. I know what we have done as a government in Southern Borno. And I know exactly why PDP is trying to, the opposition generally, they are trying to instigate, the population against the governor without any success. And that has been the case for a long time. It's been like that, for a long time. Not only this governor, even previous governors. So therefore, we are not really bothered.
Okay. So are you also comfortable? Because some say, the recent outing of the PDP in your state, which was greeted by, some hoodlums attack and what have you, some say it was orchestrated by your party.
There was no any hoodlum attack. There wasn't. What happened, I was actually there. What happened was that the presidential candidate of the PDP went to the Shehu of Borno, paid his courtesy call, and there was a lot of disrespect at the Shehu's palace because he addressed...
By who now?
By the candidate of the PDP, because he addressed the Shehu seated. When the president addressed the Shehu in the Shehu's palace, standing, he went there, he addressed the Shehu while seated. This is not really something that you can be able to explain to anybody in that place. And then he left. While he left, people booed, children and women and people who were not happy. They booed and they threw sands on his convoy. That is not attack. Not a single
Including
person.
the shattered glasses of the vehicles.
It's complete falsehood. Complete falsehood.
The big pictures were all over the
What I'm
social
saying
media.
is complete falsehood. If there's any shattered glass, maybe they did it maybe in while they were trying to respond to some. But to me, as far as the visit of the presidential candidate is concerned, there is no any violence associated with that visit. I issued a statement in that respect.
But even though at the point, the state government did not came out to say
even
anything.
the police issued a statement denying it.
But there were also attempts in recent times to get whoever is involved arrested.
That one was by the governor. Yes, that one is true. When the governor actually, when our convoy, APC convoy, left for Bama, along the road, some PDP in villages along the road, actually they tried to attack, our convoy, thinking that there was nobody. When they did that, then the boys in APC got annoyed and responded. That actually caused our statement to issue, our governor to issue a statement condemning it. I don't know whether you're aware of the statement. He issued a statement condemning it, that he is not supporting any political violence.
Even though it came, very late. So
No, it was that day, that same day. Okay. I can assure you that same day, he issued a statement.
So if I understand your position, the PDP is not a threat in Borno.
I don't see any reason why anybody can think that PDP is there in Borno. We don't have PDP in Borno. We don't. What I will invite you is maybe you can invite, you have to come and see it in Borno. We don't have.
So you mean the presidential candidate of the PDP?
He just went there and
in the dark.
He went there, rented crowd and came back. So what is there? We know that. That is not.
That's a very, very serious one.
We don't have.
Well, okay. We will engage more of the PDP also as stalwarts to respond to this issue. But then looking at APC at the national level, some say it has a very slim chances looking at the other formidable options like the PDP and the Labour Party, for instance. So didn't you think that there's a serious threat, for the APC, especially looking at the configuration, permutations along regional lines?
See, I always, it surprises me really that anybody can think that any other political party will have any chance of winning the presidential election other than APC. Because if you look at it, the only serious, so to speak, political party is the PDP. And look at the PDP, they are already disjointed into 4 different groups, because of the injustice within that party. PDP is known.
But the party is mending its fences. We've heard from one of the aggrieved governors saying that PDP is one, and of course they are coming back.
Please, let me tell you this. Show me a video where Wike is saying that he is accepting Atiku.
But he didn't mention that he has no problem. He has no issues with Atiku.
What I'm saying is he is not supporting Atiku because his conditions are not met. Am I right? And if his conditions are not met, he's not supporting Atiku. And he will only support Atiku. He will even think about, not even supporting, he will think about supporting PDP if his conditions are met. He didn't even say he's supporting Atiku. That's his language. He will think about supporting Atiku if his conditions are met. So therefore, Wike is out. Labour Party came out, the candidate of Labour Party is from PDP. It was from PDP. He is there as a presidential candidate in his own right. So also is Konkoso. Who is the presidential candidate of NNPP?
Are you saying this candidate would
PDP is a disjointed party.
Of the PDP?
See, PDP is a disjointed party. They have no direction whatsoever. They are totally confused and they don't know what they are doing.
In spite of the crowd they are pulling,
there is no crowd
across states, including the Northwest,
no.
which is your base.
I am telling you, there is no any crowd greater than APC's crowd. You have been following our campaigns. PDP is a disjointed party. They have destroyed themselves within themselves, consequence of injustice over the years. You understand what I mean? And they don't honor their own agreement within themselves. They don't follow their own rules. How can? See, a political party is a political party because there are a set of rules and regulations and constitution and understanding within members that brought them together. These, rules and regulations and understanding brought these members together. And in the PDP, they don't respect that. What do you call that party? It's not a party. They have destroyed themselves.
But they say the same to the APC.
How?
There's a comment together of, I've had one of the presidential candidates talking about APC being a jungle of,
Can I see the video?
Strange.
Can I see the video?
Strange fellows also.
Can I see the video?
Well, but APC is also,
let me tell you this.
Is also a comment together.
Let me tell you this. APC had problems before His Excellency Membala Boni took over as caretaker committee and extraordinary convention committee chairman. We had problems. Within the period he actually presided over the affairs of the party, these problems got solved. And APC grew by a few governors. We had Umahi, we have Umahi, we have Matawali, the governor of Zamfara State, we have Ben Ayade, we have so many other governors and senators and members of House of Reps. We actually put our house in order. As we speak, APC is heading to 2023 in a united manner, and we are poised to retaining.
Just how united is the party. When we return, we'll be looking at all of that, because there are also grievances within the party, and we're not seeing some formidable chieftains, if you like, or blocks within the party.
I am confirming to you that any grievance that you are thinking about has been addressed.
We'll
and as we speak, reconciliation is ongoing. It is never ending.
Yeah. Okay, we'll look at that when we return. There's much to it than perhaps meet the eye, some will say, but that is when we return. In case you're just joining us, the program is Daily Politics, and it's reaching you live from Trust Television here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. And today, we've been interfacing with Barrister Bashir Maiduguri, who is a special advisor, senior special advisor to the Borno State Governor and member of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council. Together, we'll be looking at the campaigns and the chances of his political party, the APC. We'll take a break. When we return, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Thank you very much for staying with us on Daily Politics. And today our talking point is the 2023 presidential campaign, and our focus is on the APC, that is All Progressives Congress. And we have in the studio Barrister Bashir Maiduguri, who is a special advisor to the Borno State Governor, and of course a member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Just before the break, you're talking about the unity, within the APC, in spite of the acrimony, perhaps that was a fallout of your presidential, the Congress that produced your presidential candidate. We know that there are a number of candidates then who are not fully with this movement, including perhaps the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the likes of Rotimi Amechi and so on. Formidable candidates are not aligning themselves with this move. What would you say in response to this?
First and foremost, I will have to address your suggestion that there is acrimony within the APC. I will assure you that there is none. Okay. Absolutely none. And as politicians and as observers of public affairs, we understand that all over the world, where you have a convention that produces a candidate following a competitive primary election, definitely there will be winners and there will be losers. And in our own case, we are supposed to have only one winner, and we have one winner now. And I'm very glad to tell you that our party is united behind that one winner, that is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, who has graciously picked a vice presidential candidate that is eloquent, knowledgeable, competent, capable, and willing, patriotic Nigerian, Senator Kashim Shettima, as his running mate.
Against all odds.
Now, based on, hold on, you asked me a question and I'm answering the question. Now, based on what we have on ground, we have sorted out any disagreement between the candidates. And the allegation, your allegation that the vice president is not supporting the candidacy of Asiwaju is unfounded, totally. Because you have the president saying that his ministers are not supposed to be partisan. They should concern themselves with governance. And that is how it should be. And we are not actually because we have a campaign council that is concerned with the campaign and is currently going on right now. However, the president graciously gave us, his minister of labor as our spokesperson, who is doing his job very well, excellently, to our satisfaction. You understand what I mean? And the Rotimi Amechi, or who was it that you...
Separate ladders. Amechi was there.
Who was it again?
Fabio is with the campaign, I know.
Fabio stepped down.
Amechi was there.
Amechi has never uttered any word.
So why is he silent?
He is... Well,
has it not been carried along?
You may not know, and we don't have... you don't have actually the right to know our strategy. And you are not supposed to actually prognose and find out who is doing what.
But the public is interested in knowing.
It doesn't matter.
You did mention that the party is united.
See, he's
so
not
if it is united, Nigerians will want to see everyone behind.
He is not contesting for any position anymore. And he has not come out to say that he is not supporting Asiwaju. Has he said that? You cannot just, assume things that are not there. And that is the problem with Nigerian journalism. You should assume things that are supposed to be there.
But you talked about the reason why you felt that the party is united, because everyone is rallying around
quite united.
The winner. So we need to see everyone actually...
You don't have to put words in my mouth by saying something that is not true. I'm telling you something that is true. And what is true is that Rotimi Amechi is within the APC. He has not disagreed with the candidature of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And your assumption that he is not in the campaign is wrong. Do you understand what I mean? So I think we should leave it at that.
Okay, let's look at other issues. We're talking about your chances, especially also at your supposed base, talking about the Northwest. Earlier you were talking about the emergence of Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso as presidential candidate of the NNPP. And Atiku Abubakar also happens to come from the North, even though the North is, as it were. But there has been concerns that the APC might not be able to hold on to its, initial popularity, if you like, in the zone. Talking about the Northwest. Didn't you think this is a challenge?
Mr. Shafiu, sorry. I have to tell you that the APC has actually gone beyond that. We are way, way ahead of any thinking along that line. Because what we are looking at is to solve Nigeria's problems, not only for this period, but for the future generation. And to tell you that we are presenting candidates based on their qualifications, competence, and capacities. Because if you look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his records in Lagos will tell you, the moment he came, he constituted a committee of, development experts to come up with a master plan to develop Lagos. And each governor, since his time, has been following that master plan. And what we have today is the Lekki phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. What we have today, Eco Atlantic. What we have today are all these agencies that were created that providing jobs, to our youth. What we have today is Lagos that was collecting 400 million naira in 1999 as internally generated revenue, now collecting over how many? 50 billion per month. What we have today is Lagos. That is the 5th largest economy in Africa if Lagos were a country. What we have today is a prosperous Lagos, a clean Lagos. So this is the kind of person we introduce to Nigerians to solve our problem, for the future.
But you're talking about 200 million people. Lagos is not Nigeria.
Hold on, let me tell you something. His vice, Senator Kashim Shettima, to whom I was privileged to work as an advisor in Borno, is also as competent as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as knowledgeable as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These are the two competent people we are producing and we are presenting to Nigerians to elect as president and vice president. We are not thinking about petty, trivial issues pertaining this zone or this religion or that religion. So I'm saying that APC is a nationalistic party. We're all encompassing. We don't care, your thoughts. Once you are competent and capable, I think you will get the ticket.
So you're talking about presenting candidates to the people to elect. And here we are talking about the depletion of your support base, which is the Northwest, the major block, if you like.
I am sorry to say that your allegation is totally false.
It is not about allegation. We are talking about reality.
It's false.
Which
election did you conduct to find out that our population is depleted?
Let's talk about
which election did you conduct?
I gave you...
And which opinion poll will tell you that?
I gave you the indicators.
What indicators? In the eyes of whom?
We are not having the same APC as it were.
That is a false allegation. I'm telling you this.
2019.
What I'm telling you
where President Muhammadu Buhari's 12 million votes will count.
I'm sorry to say this is false. Totally false.
Okay. We are looking at the Northwest, for instance. We haven't gone to other zones.
I don't want to talk about any zone. What I want to talk about is Nigeria. Yeah. We are presenting to you people that can solve Nigeria's problems, not for today, but for the future generation. Okay. That is what APC is producing.
Okay, but it's talking about continuity. The same APC is running the government.
I hope you have read our manifesto, The Renewed Hope.
You're talking about renewed hope, not consolidation.
No.
And here we are.
Renewed hope, essentially is talking about your own future. It's talking about how to rebuild Nigeria from whatever status it is, not necessarily consolidation. The consolidation you are talking about, this is a party, that is available for Nigerians to actually ensure that it's in power. So we are working towards that very successfully.
Okay, we have to. I mean, we have to look at what the government, what your party is doing. At the moment, as a yardstick for the support Nigerians, you are expecting Nigerians to give you in 2023. And the reason why we're talking about some of these indices, and of course, is also very germane. You are talking about development and what the party has done for Nigerians. At the same time, there are also challenges. People have been displaced. People are talking about poverty. People are talking about insecurity.
My brother, I'm here for your interview. I am the one to actually offer to you the answers you are asking. Yeah. I do not expect you to descend into the arena of, the competition or the game. I will have to tell you that as we speak, all the world have different problems. All nations have different challenges. America itself have challenges. The most developed country in the world, they say it's America. It has its own challenges. You hear of, shootings every now and then. You hear of crime. They have their own challenges, including healthcare challenges, including infrastructure challenges, and so many other challenges. So, my brother, Nigeria does not mean that we don't have challenges. We do. We do. I have to tell you that we do. But, you see, we have to address it. We do not expect, or we do not, we should not think that an angel from heaven will come down and solve our problems. We have to solve our own problems by ourselves.
Okay.
And that starts, let me finish, and that starts with you and me. We have to change our attitudes. We have to change our thoughts, our thinking, our psyche. We have to be honest, we have to be hardworking, we have to stop blaming government for anything. If you are going and you fall down, you blame government. No. You have to know that there are things government can do, there are things that are right, that, that an individual can do. As a patriotic person, you have to pay your taxes, you have to, do everything that is required of you. And that way we can move forward.
Well,
do you understand what I mean?
For those seeking the mandates of the people would also have to ask questions as to how they intend to address these problems that we are talking about.
What problem?
Fundamentally.
Like?
We talk about, we've been talking about it, for instance, the insecurity, the blueprint to end this banditry insurgency that has been affecting the northern part of the country.
Our presidential candidate has been answering this. Our vice presidential candidate has been answering it in town hall meetings, in engagements with the private sector, with the labor. Even yesterday, they have been answering it. They have been, saying it in the rallies. So therefore, I do not see any reason why I would repeat it here. The blueprint for addressing our problems, including insecurity, is contained in our document called Renewed Hope, which is the manifesto of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the candidate of APC, the All Progressive Congress.
So if I understand your position, the cost is cleared now for the APC. Not even a Labour Party being a threat.
We have no doubt about that.
Including the Labour Party threat.
The Labour Party, if you go to Borno, if you mention Labour Party, they don't even know. For instance, in many states around, I don't want to talk about other parties anyway. Please.
But these are competitors.
No, I don't want to talk about other parties. Labour Party is a trash.
Well, that's a bit harsh, some will say.
Yeah, it's a trash.
Because it also has a formidable candidate.
You just told me that the Director General was convicted of some 200 billion naira fraud, and that you are expecting that this kind of party will come and take charge of your treasury. As a Nigerian, will you think of that?
But
if the Director General is convicted of a crime involving 200 million naira, and as a result resigning, why will you think that Labour Party will win any election? Don't you think that will have impact on their performance? Don't you think that there are other people that might be equally guilty of similar offenses in that party? So why will you even think that Labour Party can constitute any threat to any party here in Nigeria?
Okay, we have to leave it at that. I understand time has been fast spent. We will continue with the conversation perhaps in our subsequent editions of the program as you progress also with the campaigns.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
On Daily Politics, Barrister Bashir Maidugu.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of our guests and the technical crew, this is where we come to the end of this conversation. Do join us tomorrow. We'll be back with another interesting topic and personality. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.